stop for a drink. So,
Um, Evelyn is looking back up at him, giving a soft shrug. Sure, I suppose. A about little bit under average height, uh, Caucasian woman, just dressed in some old, not old clothes, but some shoddy leather armor, like in the reference picture, with a very worn cloak sat over her shoulders. And of course, instead of the two weapons, the spear strapped across her back with a long bow or a short bow next to it, with a backpack carrying some basic supplies. Um, what do you? If you would go on in, I'll follow you in. Taking in the
yeah, perhaps we'll
sounds, glancing
find
around
the old man
nervously.
some around here. But, come up again. Or reignite some old contacts. Be nice. Yeah, steps towards the tavern. Was it a tavern or an inn?
It's both. There's a what looks like a second floor.
Okay. He steps towards the building and kind of reaches for the door, opens it, peeks his head in.
Looking into the tavern, you see that there are a few full and lively tables. At one table, a sailor captain seems to be pawning off some shells in the lake. At another, there's a card game going on between a few dwarves. There's a couple working girls in lacy, strappy outfits prancing around. But notably, at a table closer to the bar area, you do, in fact, see a friendly face. There's a town guard chatting up a couple commoners.
And this town guard is to is this Calmorn? I thought he was acolyte rather than town guard. Or is he someone else?
Yeah, indeed, you recognize your uh, kind of acquaintance from your time in the army.
Oh, okay. Gordon, you there?
Howdy.
Been introduced. Why don't you describe yourself?
So you would see a silver dragonborn. He's wearing chainmail armor covered in a blue cloak, and uh, on his belt there's a silver dragon buckle that resembles where he used to, or kind of resembling, his people, and how they're kind of more rare nowadays. And he's telling a lively story to a few of the commoners in the tavern. And yeah.
Linus walks up and listens for a few moments before butting in, saying, "Oh, that's nothing. Should have heard my old story. Uh, this lad was here, but I was leading the charge."
The guy sitting there at the table looks at Calamorn and then looks up at you and says, yeah? Well, he's telling me it's pretty fucking interesting its own.
Yes, I'm telling
You know
him
him?
about the story where I slew the silver dragon.
Oh, God. Got the details mixed up. I thought you were talking about. Huh, you slain a silver dragon. Really?
The guy sitting next to the one who just spoke um, looks up and says, well, if you want to take a seat and listen with us, then the more the merrier.
Much obliged. Linus flags down the bartender and orders a drink for himself, Emmeline, and Calmorn.
Yeah, this elven barmaid smiles and nods and goes off towards the bar to get you guys drinks.
I hate to break it to you, Linus, but I don't drink all that often.
It's a special occasion, isn't it?
I mean, what's the special occasion?
Arriving in town, seeing an old friend, getting some drinks. Isn't that special enough?
I suppose. I mean, I don't particularly know anyone here anymore.
Oh, and you won't, with that attitude.
I suppose.
The other two sort of just sitting there, both look at Emmeline and look you up and down. So, nice to meet you two. My name's James. My friend is Gary. You're just in town seeing. He sits there for a second trying to remember the Dragonborn's name.
Kalumorn.
Seeing the town.
Well, I'd love to hear more of your story. I haven't heard this one before.
Yes, he is here to see old friends, he said. I'm not really from around here, I guess you could say.
You see that the barmaid comes back and puts some drinks on the table, and she leans in a little bit and says, you know there's a courier here at the doorway for you. Looking at the town guard.
Oh, I must have lost the time. Let me go take a step out for a second.
You look up at the door, and actually inside, standing there, kind of waiting for you to acknowledge him, there's a courier there with a mail bag, and he has a letter out in his hand, and he makes eye contact with you.
I will go over to him and greet him. Hello.
Hi, this is directly from the High Court. Just urgent business, I was told, and hands you the letter. It seems to have the red seal of the Amber Empire.
I'll take one look at the seal, and then I will open it and kind of read it.
Reading through it, it is a message from the High Court of Vanacontrain explaining that there's been a kind of rush of, people signing up to be the town guard after the end of the war, and your contract is being ended in favor of the Emperor contracting you to go and try to find out some information about a ruin west of the city.
Sounds like an interesting deed. I will return to my spot with the people I was telling the story to, and
So speak up, say, something to do with work? Leave us already, go on patrol?
well, something a little different. It looks like I'm having a little bit of change of occupation. I'm going to be looking into a rumor in the out west.
Damn, they just fired you like that? Well, I mean, not really fired, I guess, but still, it's awfully sudden. I wonder what could be so important that they'd call away guards like that.
I think they're just noting my very good service and very large skill set.
I see. Who's heading out there with you? I mean,
it doesn't really say. I assume I'm going alone.
Alone? You can't travel alone. Yeah. It's been a while since we've really spoken to each other. Perhaps we could tag along for some of the journey. We were heading in that direction anyway.
Well, I'd be much obliged to have you catch up with you in that time.
See that James and Gary look between you guys and say, "Well, we have stores in town to run. I thank you for the drink. Hope to see you gentlemen later. We actually have business to attend to." Kind of pats James on the shoulder, and the two get up and head out of the bar.
Understandable. Sorry for interrupting your story, gentlemen. Have a good day. And Linus will look down at his mug of liquor and say, may as well. You don't have to leave immediately, do you? Spend the rest of the night here?
Did it sound very urgent, or was the letter urgent, or?
It just described the location of the ruin. Didn't say anything about urgency or even reporting it.
Well, I don't really think I have to be there too fast. It's just a ruin. It's not gonna go anywhere.
Well, I mean, there's one story about the underwater ruins. Don't remember if it was just a folk tale or whatever, but apparently there was a city on the back of this giant sea turtle. Crazy tales get passed around the army back in those days.
I've heard stories of that, but I think it's just more a legend than anything.
Probably. Still, be quite a wonder, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so if you like sailing around on a large boat for that long.
Fair. Anyway, drinks are on me. Got some gold to spend.
Well, thank you, I suppose. And Emily's going to take a small drink of her drink.
You guys see that at the entrance to the tavern, a couple well-dressed elves actually walk in and start looking around. The two of them file off to different tables to talk to people.
Elves? Are those especially common?
Not really at all.
Okay, Linus kind of stares a little bit. I mean, obviously he's trying to make it look like he's not staring, but definitely is. He leans over to his two companions and says, "Did the two elves just walk into it? It sounds like the start of a bad joke, but
You guys,
why are they here?"
one of the elves finishes talking to some of the people at one table and then looks directly at your table, beckons to the other elf.
He heard me. God damn.
Both of the elves head over to your table and look between all of you, and one of them says, "Sorry to bother all of you," kind of with a snide look on his face. Well, I'll just be upfront about this. Any of you received a letter in the past? He shrugs. While?
I received plenty of letters. Who wants to know?
Well, we're not exactly at liberty to divulge much. It's just a query.
Linus
Not
takes
even
a long
common
drink.
sort of letter. It would be a letter with the seal of the Ember Empire.
Ah,
I don't get very many letters, so
They both kind of look at you and squint a little bit.
I'm just staring blankly, like a completely serious look on my face.
People at the other table said that the courier was in here.
is there? I wasn't paying attention, sorry. Who are you again?
One of them kind of smacks his lips a little bit and looks at the guy in the town guard uniform. Couldn't have been you.
Ah, no.
My name's Linus, by the way. What's yours?
Eladrilin.
Sorry, Gordon, didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
I know. I don't think I got any mail recently. It'd be still probably at the armory. If you like, I could buy you a drink. If you.
The elf is sort of rubbing his chin and nodding a little bit. Well, wouldn't be a job if it was easy, I suppose. You have a nice drink. Maybe we'll ask you again at another point in time. And gestures to the other elf, and they head out of the tavern.
Lance takes another drink. He's almost finished his drink by now. He looks at Gordon. A little bit of a low tone. He says, well, I don't think that's anything good. Maybe we should head out tonight.
Evelyn will switch her drink, which she's barely touched, with Linus's, so he has a full mug, and says, are people in the town really this strange? Randomly asking
Linus
people
looks
about
at
it.
Calmorn with a questioning look, because he's curious as well.
I don't necessarily recognize either of them, so I don't think it's that usual.
I mean, last time I was here, the most exciting thing that happened is someone forgot to cut the head off of a chicken before they started plucking it or something. Either way, there was a half-plucked chicken running through the street. Now we got elves walking into bars.
I mean,
Seemed awfully stuck up to me. Could have just asked nicely. Told us why they wanted. No, of course.
They didn't seem like they had our best interest at mind with that question.
They're elves. Probably plotting to. I don't know. What do elves do? They plot. That's what they do. They're plotting to plot.
what does that even mean?
You see that the table to your left, the sailor who is selling stuff, looks over at the three of you and says, "Aye. Care for a shell?"
A show?
Big grin on his face. "A shell?"
Whoa. What? Linus looks very confused.
"From the East Waters."
Looks over at Calmorn. Raises an eyebrow.
No, thank you, kind sir. I have plenty of shells already.
"Yeah, it looks like the three of you have seen plenty."
I mean, yes.
Not to make
No.
any assumptions, I'm just... I know the look when I see it. Listen. This is something I wouldn't just tell any other old folk, but as
We
an
are
operation in... He stops as you start to talk.
Linus just kind of looks at him and says, "You wouldn't tell any other old folk, but you'll tell us."
Just figured I would.
Okay. Well, don't let me stop you.
Some fellas in Old Rock. Little operation going on as long as you can handle a boat.
Interesting.
Figuring you were talking about going west already.
What was the place you mentioned?
The ruins to the west.
You mentioned like a place by name. I missed it.
Just thought I'd say. And turns back, trying to talk to some other people about his shells.
Old Rock, did you say?
Oddrock.
Okay.
People around here are very odd, I would say.
It's entertaining, that's for sure. I should run by this place you mentioned. Check it out. Next time I'm passing through. tilts back his mug to finish it off. You'll see that it's been switched. Shrugs and chugs a good portion down anyway.
You're welcome.
Oh, no problem. Anyway. Shall we be heading out?
Who who are you exactly? Leaning around and looking at Calamorn.
Oh, I am Calamorn. And you are?
I'm Emmeline.
Yeah, Emily, this is Calmorn, as he's already mentioned. He's the old pal of mine. Connect back in the military. Well, not that either of us are in it anymore. Wait, sorry, out of character for a second. Was your character in the military, or was it your father who was in the military?
Father.
Okay, then allow me to recant that.
It depends on how Fire Clark sees guardsmen, I guess. If they're technically in the military or not.
No, you wouldn't be equivalent to military police. You'd pretty much have just enlisted in the town, separate from the Amber Empire.
Allow me to recant this. His father and I go way back in the military. We met up, had a few good times around here, but I was eager to get back on the road, and that's where I met Emily. And then he gestures to Emily and he says, "Come where I meet Emily." Traveling companion for quite a while. Not a great conversationalist, but they know what they're doing.
I mean, I'm used to traveling alone, so not used to talking that much.
What's the use of enjoying the world without someone to share it with? Eh?
I mean, you can learn a lot in isolation with yourself.
We didn't go out on the road to learn, to forget.
She opens her mouth to say something, and then just closes her mouth and shakes her head and very visibly decides against to say something.
Linus kind of nods as if his earlier suspicions well, not suspicions, but accusations is confirmed.
You see that the barmaid comes back to the table and says, well, do you care for some food? You seem to be sticking around.
Sure, but I think we were gonna head out soon. Can we get that wrapped up for the road?
I suppose.
Wait, what time is it currently?
We wanted to get out because the elves were being nosy.
It's pretty much midday.
Okay.
2 o'clock maybe.
Okay. Well, do you think we could rest here for a bit and eat before we start moving around?
Oh, fine. Just a couple elves aren't much of a worry anyways. Never mind that. We'll just
The
take
barmaid
it
is Elvin, I hope you realize that.
Linus looks over at the barmaid and winces. Previously had not taken note of their race. But he forges on. We'll eat here, thanks.
All right, I'll come back in a little while, I guess. Carry on. She heads back and starts going to other tables.
Good job. Good job. And he is hearing this in his head. Just good job.
Looks over at Emmeline with a bit of a annoyed look. He says, "Hey, when the only other person you can talk to is you for a good solid few weeks, lose some finesse. You used to be an officer, you know. Real smooth talker. Convinced a quartermaster to distribute extra supplies to my regiment once.
you may have done that, but you're. I think you've lost your sharp tongue, as you say. At
I'm gonna
least,
practice. I'll be back in no time.
I suppose. And so lean back and look over at Calamore and say, um, so he knew your father then?
Yeah, he did. Probably more than I did sometimes, but
He's a good man. Cared well for his men. I served under him for a time.
The tavern's still bustling. This kind of like really tall guy barges into one of your chairs and heads for the bar.
Let's readjust
Hey.
the chair.
He doesn't hear you say that.
People are just. I'm not sure I like being in the city again.
At that point, one of the working girls with kind of the lacy, strappy outfit comes over to your table and crosses her arms and looks between the three of you. Having a good time?
Just catching up with some old friends.
Yeah, a few glasses on your table. Saying the night?
Linus looks over to Calmore and Emily.
I don't know how much a room is. I don't know if we're staying.
Shouldn't run you back more than a cup of silver.
Oh, all right. Look, and she'll look over at Linus and say, I think I should stay or get a bed if we're going to leave tomorrow, whenever Calamorn wants to leave.
Linus shrugs.
Calamorn.
Speaking of beds, my friends, she looks between the three of you, but her eyes rest on Emmeline and she raises an eyebrow. I don't know the nature of you three, but interested in any company?
no, thank you. That'll be fine.
Linus sighs. Regrettably, I must decline. I've already paid for too many drinks tonight. My wallet's hurting.
And she's kind of like raising an eyebrow, almost confused by what she said.
Well, no matter. There's plenty going on already, I suppose. And she knocks on the table and walks away.
What was that about? Just kind of quietly to the other two.
Linus looks over at Emily and sees that she's serious and, no sweet summer child. Do we want to, out of character now, do we want to time skip to tomorrow, or is there something else?
I mean, I'm fine with faffing about and just exploring the city.
That's fair.
Good road building. You know?
Okay, that's fair.
Wait, she walked away before I could buy a room. Shit.
Take it up with the
You wouldn't make the assumption that she was the one getting the rooms sorted out. She was offering for other reasons.
Yeah, more of a rider on. It's like DLC back in the medieval era. Extra football
Well, do you think we should go get some supplies for tomorrow?
I've already got all I need here.
I mean,
Yeah, I got a majority of what I need.
Alright.
Resupplied not too long ago. Besides, I bagged that rabbit on the way.
I suppose.
Out of character, I just realized that my only ranged weapons are javelins. That means I just fucking annihilated a rabbit with a javelin.
Well, I suppose we can hunt along the way. I'm not particularly good at it, unless you two are.
I mean, I could probably hit a rabbit.
How far are these ruins that you were supposed to investigate?
Since I did travel around, like, a lot, would I kind of have a general idea?
Make a general intelligence check.
Okay, so just an intelligence check.
Actually, you have
Flat.
no idea because he hasn't told you.
Oh. Oh yeah, right. No, he didn't tell me. I'm sorry. That was my fault.
Would it?
Where are we even going?
So would I know where it would be about?
It's in the
The
letter.
letter described some ruins about 15 miles west of Anacontrain. You know that directly west of the city there's an old abandoned quarry, but you're not really familiar with what further down there.
I think it's somewhere around the quarry, a little bit about 15 miles west.
Oh, that's nothing. Could be there in a day.
I suppose.
Hell, if we set out now, we could be there before dark.
Curiously raising an eyebrow. Alright. I mean, I'd like to get some food before we leave then.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't mean to suggest that we do set out now. It's just making a point of it.
Evelyn's gonna kind of get up and head to the bar and try and get the attention of a barmaid or someone up there that works.
Your barmaid, who's grabbing a couple glasses for other people, looks at you and says, "Yeah, what can I get you?"
I wanted to order us some food. Sorry about him earlier. Is there like a selection to choose from or something?
Different kinds of bread, soups, steaks.
Okay, I'll come back and tell you what everybody wants. I just wanted to know what was.
I'll take the steak.
Okay, never mind. What does Calamorn want?
I'll just call over that I want a soup.
Okay, I'll have soup as well, I suppose.
She knocks on the bar and says, "All right, I'm on it," and carries the drinks over to the other people.
Alright, thank you. Sorry to bother you. And she'll, like, kind of shyly make her way back to the table.
About 10 minutes later, she shows up with a couple bowls of beef vegetable stew and the steak for Linus.
How much will that be?
Oh, honey, the whole tab right now is... She kind of takes out a little piece of parchment. 23 copper.
Oh,
Yeah, covered by the end. I don't need to worry about that now. Linus grabs his utensils and begins to dig in.
Alright, thank you for letting me know. I was curious. And Evelyn will start eating.
Very cool.
Linus pokes the steak with a knife. So this is pretty decent. It's hunted game. That's for sure.
The steak is a medium. Nicely done, garnished, juicy.
Yeah. It's a steal.
How is the stew?
It's stew.
Stew. Okay.
You hear that closer to the other side of the tavern, sort of on the left, whereas you're on the right, there's some guys starting to yell and push each other.
Just kind of looking over, hearing the commotion, just curiously.
One of them is yelling about some piece of land that he owns, and the other one is talking about money. And there's a couple others cheering them on. One talking about his land throws a punch at the other one.
Oh dear. He looks over at Gordon and he grins. He says, I would say it's your job to go stop that, but I guess it really isn't anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe we should anyway.
I learned sometimes it's best to just let things play out as they will.
I'm so tempted to mess with them.
Someone from closer to the back barges past Linus's chair and goes to join the growing bar fight. The bartender yelling, kind of like, stop, 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 and trying to stop it, but people are already punching each other. The barmaids are getting out of the way, and working girls, one of them screams. Someone's knocked over a table at this point.
Intriguing. Linus will grab the remainder of his steak with his bare hands and shove it into his face before his table gets knocked over. He stands up, wipes his hand off on a napkin before tossing it into the crowd. The brawling crowd, of course. They don't care.
Yeah, the napkin just kind of lands on someone's shoulder and falls off onto the floor.
And, takes his hands off and says, reminds me of when I was young. It happened all the time. I'd dive right in then. Now, I do bruises all of tomorrow. Got a lot more than they used to.
You see that one of the barmaids rushes out of the front door. At this point, someone's been knocked out and's lying there outside of the crowd.
Linus will walk forward and prop the unconscious guy up in a chair.
Alright, now it's a good time to step in. I will stand up on the table and shout, alright everyone, it's now time to quiet down and return to your normal business.
Make a persuasion check.
Alright. This is gonna go poorly.
Linus shouts out, you heard the man.
12. A couple of the guys fighting look up at you in your town guard uniform and, not looking for any trouble, they head out of the bar entirely, just going out the front door and looking around. But there's still fighting going on, people shoving each other and yelling, lots of confusion.
About how many people are fighting?
3 in the center, you can see there's a crowd formed around cheering people on. Occasionally someone will step in to get a shove in and a laugh, but there's 3 guys.
All
throwing
right.
punches in the middle.
So, at this point, Linus will step in before another guy gets knocked out. That's not healthy. I mean, our town guard here has asked for it to stop, and it hasn't, so.
At this point, the front door swings open, and the barmaid has brought a couple town guards who
Oh no.
come in and look at the situation and start to shout, "What the fuck is going on here?" The crowd begins to disperse. The people fighting. One of them gets a last shove in before looking at the guards and says, "Oh, nothing. Bit of a dispute, eh?" And the guards head over and start to get some shackles out.
Alright, well, never mind. I need to step in. See, beauty of law at work.
The two of them bring the two main assailants out in shackles and look at you, Calamorn, and say, "We heard about your assignment. Lots of people rushing to join the town guard."
Yeah, it's a new venture, I guess.
Yeah, well, Lennox got sent off to the east, so we'll be sure to tell you how his goes. If you end up back in town, buy you a drink. We'll miss you.
I won't be gone too long. I'll probably be back before you know it.
Yeah, we're sure. He slaps the guy who's got chained up in the back of the head, and then the two of them get the guys out of the bar. Things kind of settle down. People picking back up the tables, cleaning up the spilled drinks.
Evelyn will get up and go help, like, set tables back up and everything.
So, yeah, Linus will tend to the unconscious person. Ensure that they're not gonna die of attempt to ensure that they're not gonna die of, like, a brain hemorrhage or blood loss or whatever. See if they can
The
keep
guy,
them awake.
as you go over and start checking on him, he opens his eyes kind of groggily and looks up at you. And goes, "Mother?"
Hey, son, you know what that fight was about?
I just saw people fight and figured I'd get one in.
Classic attitude. Better luck next time. Claps a man on the shoulder and hoists him to his feet.
Kind of disoriented, he barely stands up and rubs the back of his head. Heads back to the bar to get another drink going.
Oh, something I forgot to mention about my character. I look stronger than normally someone would, like physically. 16-inch strength. I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom.
The 16 strength.
Yeah,
I strong as Linus. Arm wrestle him down.
I mean, I have the same strength as him, so.
Shame that unconscious, that guy got conked out. Didn't have something to say on the matter. Thought for sure he'd have been involved, but he's just one of those lads. Oh well. Guess it's not really my business anyway. Linus muses.
Yeah, best not to get involved in all that drama.
It can be fun sometimes, but
About as much fun as you can get getting stabbed in the back with a bottle shank.
Ouch. That'll leave a scar.
Yep, that was when I started wearing chainmail.
Good policy. Find it a bit too restrictive, though. Chain.
Back.
Heavy.
At
Hard
this
as hell
point,
to wear while traveling.
3 o'clock in the afternoon. Sun's still up in the sky. It's spring, so it's going to be light for a while longer, but
3 p.m. you say? That's practically midday. Linus finishes up his. Actually, already finished up his meal during the bar fight. Forgot about that. The most unrefined fashion. Um. Well, while away the hours, swapping tall tales of previous exploits, I suppose. Yeah, so Linus will begin to tell the tale of the time a patrol thought, it was patrol that he was a part of before he was an officer, thought that they were going to encounter some rival company or rival force, but instead stumbled into a pit of giant spiders. They had to fight for their lives.
Luckily, we don't have those giant spiders here in town. As far as I know of.
Oh, lucky you don't. Nasty little things. A spider bite's pretty innocuous most of the time. Annoying, maybe. Unless it's one of the deadly ones. Well, now, the big ones, doesn't matter what type of spider they are. Kill you in one good hit. I wore armor back then, so better position. Seems that something's been nagging at Linus for a little while. He leans over and calls over to the barkeep. Hey, you know those two elves that walked in here a while ago? Testing.
Hi. Hey, Clark, you there?
yep.
Oh,
Okay.
that's the question.
Did you hear what Chaotic said?
Was it to me?
Yeah, it was to you. He was talking to one of the barkeeps.
Geez, sorry, I thought he was talking to you.
This-
Go again?
he leans over to address one of the bartenders. He says, "Hey, you know the elves a couple elves that walked in here a while ago?
I suppose I saw two elves
Do you know
coming.
anything about what their deal is?
I have no idea. No.
Know
Pass it
anyone
my
who
way.
would know?
What's that?
Know anyone who would know? They approached us specifically.
Anyone who would know. I mean, if anyone, the gate guards would see everyone coming in and out of the town. That's my guess for you. It's just a town.
All right. I guess I'll check up with them way out tomorrow.
So, about that 23 copper.
Oh yeah, sure. Linus scatters 2 silver and I guess acceptable too. 2 silver and 6 copper on the table.
Yeah, thank you kindly. And he takes the money.
Before you go, how much would a room be?
Room 3 silver for the night.
3 silver?
By 9 o'clock in the morning.
Linus adds another 3 silver to the pile.
But I can pay for it. I have
He's
money.
paying for his own room.
Oh.
Think he's paying for you?
I mean, you
Some
never
other
said.
land.
I asked, and then you just added money. So
He knows you can pay your own way. Don't get any freebies beyond that one drink. Oh wait, sorry, the tab was for all of us, wasn't it?
yeah,
In that
and
case,
you just paid it.
crap. Oh well, it's fine. But the meal's on him for a reunion.
Emmeline will pay for her own room. Handing over a gold coin.
He looks at it, kind of bewildered. Well, thank you very much. We'll have those ready in a few minutes. He heads upstairs.
Can I have change?
He looks at you. That's, well, not usually the case, but he
That's all I have.
digs around in sort of a pouch behind the counter and passes you 7 silver pieces.
Thank you.
Yeah, he heads up and starts to get the room ready.
And Emmeline looks over at Linus like with a shrug. I don't know. I kind of found this just kind of around when we were before I met you.
Yeah. All
But
right.
do you not believe me?
It's just a gold coin. I mean, sure, it's a lot, but you see him every once in a while. You don't need to explain away everyone.
I mean,
He
seems
pulls out a
surprised.
platinum piece. Why do you even have that?
See that he comes back down and nods to the two of you. Rooms are ready. Goes back to the room behind the bar.
Thank you.
Still plenty of hours left in it, unless telling stories whiled away a few of those.
Yeah, it's about 3:30 now.
In that case, still plenty of daylight left. What do we want to do in town? There's that strange dispute. That's not really any of our business. Or the sailors, but that's out of town. Checking with the guards on the way out. Suppose. suppose Linus could do some quick research on the ask around about the ruin. No, the elves are asking around about it. Guess he'll just probably come on a bit more. Say, you know anything about those ruins? Well, obviously not much since you're being sent to investigate them, but must be something.
I mean, they're pretty close to a ruin, so or a quarry.
Yeah, but it was the quarry owned by back in the day when there wasn't ruins. It makes it important enough to be investigating.
I'm not too sure. I don't really.
Oh. That's a gap in our knowledge, isn't it? Perhaps we should hit up the library. You have one of those around here?
Yeah, I'd reckon we would. Is there like a library or something of that sort in town?
You know that there are a couple libraries in town. One of them specializes more in it's a working library. People go there to find recipes. There was a big thing where the guards came and took all of the magic related literature, but aside from that, it's old construction plans and books talking about the goods in the city. But then there's another library more for literature and history.
History, what would be more in line with what we're looking for?
I mean, unless you're trying to learn how to cook a steak meal like you just had.
I mean, we can do whatever. I don't really have anything.
Yeah, let's hit up the library. Linus will head up the library.
As you exit the tavern, go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay.
All of us are.
3.
Be a 3. You don't see anything as you leave.
Nothing to see.
Nope.
A 9. No, you also. It's just the buildings in the street, people walking around. Another 9.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you
I
guys
almost have proficiency.
exit the door, look around. There's people walking either way, town guard, and you know which direction the libraries are in. They're pretty close to each other.
Well, that's where we're going, eh?
You head down the streets, take a left, take a right, walking past bakeries and homes and sort, and arrive at the library that's aimed more at history and literature. There's no sign, kind of just windows that show that there are books in there.
Okay. Is there like librarian?
Yeah, heading in, you see that there's a few rows of books standing there, and then at the back of the kind of one big room, there's a counter with a librarian woman looking down at a book, writing something on some parchment.
Alright. Well, when in doubt, probably the staff. Let's stroll on up to the librarian and they'll say, hey, we're looking for books about ruins in this region.
She looks up at you and says, this region, meaning what, the town, the islands?
Well, I'm chiefly in this area, like within a few days' travel, but I'd be welcome to a more broad perspective as well.
Well, for ruins, maybe the history of the islands, that's gonna be those few shelves. She points over to one side of the room.
Oh, thank you. That should work. Might as well go over, grab a promising-looking book, and find himself a chair. Begin reading.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Would I be able to look as well with my own search?
Yeah, there's 2 people, make it with advantage.
Oh,
What?
but my investigate, he already rolled once.
Yeah, your investigation is like way better than mine.
My bad one, dude.
Well,
You gave to me.
Imagine having a +7.
I gave you one?
Imagine
Yeah.
having 20
You gave
intelligence
me
and
So the
My
2 of you
bad
guys, this investigation takes about an hour as 2 of you
pocket watch.
look through
Yeah.
a lot of these books and don't find
You gave
anything.
me that one.
And then at the end,
I'll do a
and the
game real
line
quick.
has found,
I'll be up in a little bit, okay?
it basically looks
Okay.
like the ruin you were looking for is west of the quarry, which used to be operated by dwarves before the war, and looks like it isn't that ancient. In fact, it's just like 15 years before the war. It was producing a lot of metals and stuff. But then the ruin to the west of that seems to have been a small outpost for an ancient sort of an army that didn't exist for a very long time of orcs. And there isn't much information about it, just that it had a few structures, served the purpose for a while.
Alright. Linus will show for the books after his failed search, as Emily recants. Another public safety alert? Thanks. Emily recounts the relevant data. Turn to Calmore and say, well, you're the native here. What are the sights we should see when we have a little bit of time?
Welcome.
Well, there's always the center of town that has lots of shops and stuff, but I mean, I spend a lot of time up on the walls a lot, so.
What do you think, Emily?
Sorry, I'm messaging someone. I might have gotten us a 4th player, if that's okay, Clark.
Potentially.
They need to be vetted with fire and steel.
At this point, are you guys heading out of the library?
Yeah, we're indicating Calmore to show us the sights, what this town has to offer versus other towns.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
Another one. Well, I'm not terrible at perception. I don't know who is. Linus doesn't need to see anything. He He has people who see for him. Oh no, wait, that was back in the army. I almost had proficiency in perception too, but then I was like, nah. Insight.
Couple more perception checks from you guys.
Yeah, everyone else is acceptable. I don't think this party is ever gonna see me to fall into the quarry. It's like, wait.
I can't
What's why? You guys, still nothing seems off about the town.
Of course, it's a great town.
have a reading glasses on. I got a 25 in investigation, but haven't rolled higher than a 10 for perception.
Anyway, I mean, come on, lead the way.
Alright, I'll just lead them to like, probably like something that's similar to like a pawn shop in town. Just as like random wares.
Yeah, there's definitely a store closer to the town square that's kind of more reminiscent of an antique store.
Yeah.
Bits and baubles. Trinkets. Even. Heading in there, you see that lining the walls are just a lot of objects, I suppose, different things engraved into them, all different materials. It doesn't look like there's much synergy between anything in the store and running it from the back.
Okay.
It looks like there's a counter where someone would be, but it's empty as you head in there.
Well, I suppose this would be the place where the most fun could be had in the town for me. Not much going on in town besides a few like misbehavior people.
Oh, that's good, isn't it?
Quiet town, good place to retire. Horrible place to adventure. Unless we're missing something, glares at 3 perception.
Yeah, unless we're missing something. 7 perception.
Okay, we did get higher than that. 9.
Gotta sacrifice for darn Jesus.
Those rolls feel like real life, maybe.
Yeah.
Where's the ketchup?
So where are we right now? Sorry.
You're in kind of a trinket shop in the entrance, looking around. There's a lot of shelves and tables with stuff kind of sitting there. The counter's empty right now.
Oh, like what kind of trinkets are around? Like
Heading
little-
in, going and looking at one of the shelves, there looks like a little leather pouch with a bunch of teeth in it. There's a sort of scaled bracer, and it's inscribed with the words, "To hear laments." There's this glass bottle that has a few rose petals sitting in it. There's what looks like a bronze vase engraved with 5 moons. Other objects kind of like that doesn't seem to be of much use unless you look for that kind of thing specifically.
Oh.
Create. Linus squints at a peculiarly contorted trinket. Points to one at random and says, "Oh wait, no, the counter's empty. Never mind."
Hello? Is anyone there?
Just 1 second! You hear from the back.
Kind of startled from the sudden yell, like, Is everything okay back there?
The door swings open, and it's this guy with big ears and shaggy hair and a big coat, and he looks between all of you and says, "Looking to buy?"
Just browsing for now.
I think he wanted to buy something, but I'm not sure.
Well, what you interested in?
I love him so already.
Linus winces. Well, just here to while away the hours, to be honest, but, it's quite a wide selection of items you have here. Honestly, shocked that you could assemble such varied wares in a town like this.
Well, we close in a couple minutes, so...
What?
What's wrong with this guy? Is Linus's internal monologue.
About 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yeah, can I, stare at him and see what his deal is? Is he mortally wounded?
Insight check.
Is he mortally wounded? Is he hiding a body? The party that misses... Or the party that misses every hook.
At face value, guys just has a weird voice.
So he said he was wearing a coat.
He does have a big coat on.
Big coat on. Intriguing. Didn't know better. I think he's multiple gnomes in a trench coat. Okay. Linus will slowly, looking at a little bit of perturbed expression at the shopkeeper, will leave the store, waving goodbye.
Don't forget your eye!
What?
He points kind of to the right corner of the room, and you see that floating above you is this kind of just spherical, floating, green-pupiled eye staring at you.
The hell is that?
I'd reckon that looks kind of illegal.
By the seven heavens.
Well, you brought it in here!
This man right here can vouch that I nothing to do with it. He's gonna try and grab it out of the air.
Your hand passes through the eye.
He's on his hand at confusion, then up at the eye. Illusory?
Yeah, I mean, like, trying to...
How long has this been following?
It's not like an illusion, as if you pass your hand through it and then it just doesn't exist. It's more like you just couldn't touch it, but it's still sitting there staring at you.
Question. Then could I use this to move it? Like, just try and make it move a bit? If it doesn't, that's fine.
Certainly try.
I will try.
You send out. This is like invisible, right? It's one of your psionic powers.
Yeah.
You kind of just concentrate, send out the extension of yourself invisibly to. What do you try to do with it?
Just try and see if it'll move.
Legal.
Like just move it a bit. Like,
Successfully, you push the eye a couple inches, and it floats back to where it was.
oh. I didn't manage. Did did we actually bring this in? I can
Uh,
move it.
I don't think I brought it in.
I didn't bring it in.
He looks at the strange man. He says, "Do you know what this is? Sorry to bother you."
Wow! He kind of rubs two of his fingers together. Maybe I might!
Linus squints at the man. The kind of character I'm going to use. It's not a soliloquy. It's a silent internal monologue. Is this guy like some blackmail-y wizard or something? Seems like he's got like magic stuff going on. Linus is just frowning. He says, well, kind of tilts his head and says, we didn't see this thing until we came in here, so unless you want us to think it's linked to you somehow, perhaps it's best if you shared any knowledge that you might have.
Make a persuasion check.
That's not intimidation.
Are you trying to intimidate him?
Yes, that's what I have proficiency
Well,
in.
I mean, I guess go ahead and make an intimidation check. He rolls.
I feel like it just passes over, the threat passes over his head.
He says,
He says what? Clark?
yeah, I guess I don't know after all. We're close now.
Should I take the eye out with me?
Oh, push it away.
I mean, I reckon it would just follow us, so.
He what?
I reckon it would follow us because it followed us in here, according to that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Clark? Or Clark? I keep saying Clark. I'm sorry.
They're just staring at you, waiting for you to walk out of the store.
Okay.
Linus frowns at the rebuttal.
Well,
A bit.
he did say that we have to take the eye out with us because we brought it in.
Well, I bid you a good day, sir. We'll be on our way.
Linus will head out. As he's walking, he speaks to Calmore and he says, so I mean, you gotta crack down on magic and all that, so obviously you gotta have some guys with magic to crack down on magic, right? Can you like take a look at eye issue?
I mean, they probably can, but
But it seems like a pretty pressing thing.
I will say, as we're walking out, I'm just going to use the same talent to just pull it with me, I guess.
Without you pulling the eye with you, it follows you, floating about 10 feet in the air.
Oh. Who's it following specifically? Can I like test that out?
Seems to be Calamorn.
Oh.
Well,
can it? I don't know.
Well,
You probably just go run by a guard station and asks if they have any guys that can handle it in the area.
yeah. If you think you can trust them, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, they're probably the most trustworthy people in town. So
Well, let's go then. I guess.
So whereabouts are you heading?
probably to like the nearest like guard outpost or like where a patrol would be almost.
As the clock strikes 6, you make your way to one of the guard buildings in town, and standing in front of there is one of your old buddies.
I'll ask him, hey, do you know what this is? And I'll point towards the eye.
He kind of looks at it and goes, Calamon, to me it looks like magic.
Yeah, I know that, but like, it's just been following me, or it like came into a store with me and then hasn't stopped following me since.
Listen,
I mean,
do you want to know what it is?
yeah.
You fucked if anyone sees it. Get away from here.
Temptation. I guess we are heading on our expedition a bit early after all, Midas says. Gritted teeth. Turns to the guard and he says, any way you can get rid of it? Do you know? Anyone around here?
No, I don't know anything about how to get rid of it. I mean, there's always ways to dispel magic, but, you would have to conduct magic in order to do that, so...
Well,
Alright, I guess we better leave town then for a little bit. Start on our way.
Good luck with that one.
That's what I'm going to get started on.
But I already bought a room.
yeah, maybe we could sleep in the inn and catch up to you later. I'd hate to send you off to the woods all alone. I think we may just have to eat the loss.
Alright, yes.
It's a shame, but
Hey, the ruin might have something to make, to repay you.
yeah, maybe we could sneak you in a back door. Did you pay for it? No, you didn't. Do you have a house around here?
I would assume so. Or, somewhere I sleep.
Well, depending on your money circumstances, do you think you would have a house, or do you think you would sleep in the barracks? Maybe just a room with a little cot in the...
Yeah, probably just like a room and a cot. Nothing too big.
No,
Yeah,
that's
so
not worth the risk.
on one side of town, there's kind of more modern style of housing. People living in rooms close to one another, paying one person for it.
I don't think it's worth the risk. Let's just head out on the trail. Wait. we're speaking to, or the gate guard's separate?
You guys went to a guard outpost that's separate from the gate. There are a couple buildings in town that the guards use.
So we'd have to get past the gate guards. We're gonna want to know what the floating eye is about. I do too. That doesn't change, but them wanting to know is not a great thing.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Sure. I love it.
No immediate solution comes to mind.
Just hide until it wears off. I mean, magic does that, right? Wears off.
Yeah, but there could be hours, or I think some magic goes on for like days, right?
Sometimes, but I mean, what other option have you got?
I can't think of anything.
Let's try and sneak you in the back door of the inn. You can, we'll rent another room.
I suppose that'd work.
You guys head back towards the inn. You see that there's alleyways on the right and the left.
We'll peek down and see if there's a side door, either one.
Not a side door on either side. Just windows.
We'll walk down the right-hand alley and peek around and see if there's a back door.
Walking down the right-hand alley, a couple people jump out of the shadows, holding knives to you.
Oh.
Money, 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 gift, money.
Do I look like I have money? Linus puts a hand on the hilt of his sword.
Make an intimidation check.
Yes, you do.
14. Let's see.
Guess he does have a sword.
The two of their hands holding the knives kind of shake a little bit, and they go, on second thought, maybe.
You know what?
Your partner's closer, and they sort of just begin to run away.
Linus will say, I gave you a chance, and that was 5 minutes ago when you made the decision. That was a minute ago when you made the decision to jump me. You broke that chance. In other words, I didn't give you a chance. You just decided that I hate you.
What?
Damn. You're about to just mug the first random person that came down this alley. And if it wasn't me, the person probably would have lost all their money, maybe even their life. Now, as a good upstanding citizen, I simply can't let you go. I'm sorry. He's going to draw his sword. He's going to say, how about you just put down your weapons and I'll call over the guards.
There are no guards in sight.
Sure, if I yell loud enough. Oh, there's my lad back there.
They get their knives ready. Go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh,
Can we do this nicely?
and this is all like we can see him in the alleyway talking to these people, right? Or no?
You saw him go in there.
Okay. Could we hear him speaking?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
See,
That's
it's
not
funny.
gonna go well. Oh, that's the first I roll.
22. You hear everything.
Okay.
There are two muggers in this alleyway with Linus.
See, the issue is intimidation. If I want to beat them up, I can't intimidate them into running away. It's a critical error that I've noticed.
Let me grab a couple tokens for these guys.
Wow.
See if I can roll above a 4 in this battle at all. No.
God, these rolls are so bad. god.
Clearly, we didn't bring your luck today.
So a 9, a 6, and a 4. Got it.
Yep.
Are they like frightened from the intimidation?
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Okay, fine. I'm going to stab them then. There's only 2?
Just the 2 that you can see right now.
I don't want to stab them either. I get all bloody. And there would be question and answer. Why are there 2 dead people in an alley? So I can go for non-lethal blows since I'm a melee lad. I forgot about that.
Okay, first in the initiative order is this guy on the right, on the left, from your perspective, I mean, who is going to run up to you and take a swing with his knife. What's your armor class?
17, but I have reactive things that can raise my armor class, chiefly defensive duelist.
He gets a 12. The knife streaks across your armor and just...
I don't have armor.
What do you have?
I have unarmored defense. I
Right.
parry that sucker.
You do manage to parry it with your rapier.
Wait, actually, I think my AC is 15, not 17. What am I doing? Yes, I have AC.
No, he doesn't make it. You parry the blow and he kind of
Wait, no, I have a shield. I didn't draw the shield though. It's 15 at the moment.
Next up in the order is his buddy, who will come to this side of you and take a swing with his knife, flanking, so he has advantage.
Did anyone ever tell you that using knives is bad form? Use a cudgel. This knife works out.
That'll hit a 15.
In that case, what's my name? Linus twists and bats the lowest side at the last second with his defensive duelist +2 to AC.
So that makes it 17.
Yep, if it still hits that, then I'm out of luck.
You got a 16 with advantage, so you bat it out of the way. That's your reaction. Next in the order is Calamorn.
So since I probably don't have to worry about killing people, since I'm technically a guard, I could probably just shoot them.
Yeah, okay, so you kill somebody, and the rest of the guard shows up, they're like, why is there a dead guy? You're like, oh, don't worry, I'm a town guard, I'm trustworthy, and then they look at the magic eye floating over your shoulder, rub their chins.
Yeah, I suppose. I will swing at him with my flail, I guess.
Go ahead and make your roll.
Yeah.
That'll hit for 7 damage to the second one. You swing it into his side. It
Yep.
catches him off guard and he stumbles a little bit, yells out. He's hurt. Next in the order is Sierra.
Evelyn will step up behind this guy, flanking him, and grabbing her spear with 2 hands, she's going to try and, like, I guess, bat him in the side of the head with the end of the spear, like not the sharp, pointy end of the spear, the blunt end of the spear, trying to knock him out with trying to deal non-lethal damage. And I have advantage. I forgot.
You're using a weapon with a range of 10 feet, which is a spear. Oh
Nope.
no, I'm thinking
Yeah.
about a pike. Never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I got an 11.
An 11 will hit a
Oh,
thief.
that's 11 bludgeoning because I hit him with the end of it and trying to knock him out.
You successfully knock him out, and he falls to the ground.
Okay, and then I guess since I have movement remaining, after knocking him out with one blow, kind of surprised, she's gonna run back around the other one and grip her spear, just readying herself.
Next in the order is
Let me guess.
Linus.
Okay. Linus, seeing that the lad behind him has been swiftly dealt with, about faces. There's eye to eye with the last person. He says, "All right." And after that, he lunges, and I'm going to attempt to grapple. I'm not frenzying this rage.
Make a 20 athletics. I'm going to make an opposed roll. Nope. So he is grappled.
All right. Cool.
Now that it's back to his turn, he's going to use. What is that? He makes a strength saving throw against your strength score.
It's
He can
another
use his
contested
action
grapple.
to attempt to make another contested check.
Another contested check. Okay, go ahead and roll athletics to keep him grappled. 19. Nope, he's still grappled. While he's grappled, that means he just check.
Can't move unless he breaks free.
Yes.
Well, he already used his action to try to break out, so that is his turn. Next up in the order is Calamorn.
Alright, I'm going to move up and just kind of like probably just clock him in the face. Z. Yeah. So that's.
That one, you just completely miss swinging into the wall.
Linus is. You have advantage, by the way, because Linus is. Wait, no, grappling does not give advantage. I forgot.
Yeah, it's only restrained.
I have to knock him prone as well. Okay, Linus will look at Calmore. He's not going to say anything. He's a bit embroiled in grappling at the moment, but there's just a slight tinge of I'm holding him still. How could you miss?
Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Next up is Sierra Emmeline.
All right. Again, holding her spear backwards, going to attempt to bludgeon him over the head to knock him out.
Wouldn't you have advantage from flanking with Emily? Or is it only directly across?
You
It's
were
only directly across.
already there, so you are not flanking him.
Wait, what?
You were already standing there, so you don't get the advantage.
Oh, okay. So it's only on the first movement they get advantage. Okay, I didn't know that was the rule you're using.
Someone to flank someone is how I rule it. Anyway,
Say that again?
D4 is going to hit for 7 damage, which he takes. You whack him and he's bloodied.
You should probably surrender before they stab you.
Next up is Linus.
Oh, don't worry, I won't stab him. And he attempts to sweep the guy's feet out from under him, while grappling him. Grab him by the leg even. It'll be the shove action.
Right, he rolls under that again, and he's knocked prone.
He's still grappled. I've got him by the leg, boys. And Linus looks up, he says, "You two will." And he looks at the guy and says, "Unless an iron grip tightens."
Okay, I'm gonna make a roll right now. Right, he's going to... Trying to figure out if he can attack while he's prone and grappled.
Yes,
You
but
can.
at disadvantage.
You have disadvantage while attacking.
On melee attacks.
Yeah, on melee
What
attack.
happens here? So,
Well, he's gonna make an attack against Linus with disadvantage. Just rolled a nat 20, but... And also a 7. Right,
Only he rolled double nat 20s.
that is his turn. Next in the initiative order...
he reaches out to stab Linus in an artery. Linus just reaches out, pokes his arm away, and steps on his knife.
A crossbow bolt is going to hit Emmeline for 4 points of damage, piercing damage,
Okay, well,
from further down the alleyway.
okay,
Linus looks confused at the suddenly appearing
All right.
crossbow. He says,
Next
"You
up
have
is
the other
Calamorn.
one?" Probably.
I would like to look for the person who shot the arrow.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
So.
No, it's just dark back there. That's your free
Okay.
ability check.
Yep. I guess I'll just attempt to knock out the thief still.
A 7 is not gonna hit.
My punches aren't doing too hot.
Advantage because he's prone.
Oh, he is? Okay.
yes.
He can't stand up because he has no movement. He's grappled.
10 then.
A 10 is not gonna hit.
Alright, that's all I can do.
He's wiggling. It's like a worm.
Jeez.
It's like that one scene from never mind, no know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's just like we violent.
Next up in the order is Emmeline.
So the bolt hit me in the back, right?
Yeah, it didn't lodge itself very far, and you have gear and everything. Just did the points of damage.
Yeah. Evelyn, after getting hit, kind of shrugging off the blow, looking down at the guy and then glancing up to Linus, she's gonna turn around and look for the person that shot at her.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Perception. 15.
15. Ooh, no. Do not see him, actually.
I don't see him. Was that my action?
It was your free ability check.
Okay. Okay. She's gonna you I'm tempted, but I'm not going to. She is going to start moving down the alleyway. And it came from this direction, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. 10 feet.
The guy's gonna make an opportunity attack with disadvantage. Does a 15 hit?
Yeah, actually it will.
For 2 points of damage as the knife slashes you while he's trying to break out of Linus's grip.
Scowls at the knife that has escaped his boot.
Again, doing the same thing, just kind of glancing back, as her pant leg gets cut into. Could I take an action to do another perception check?
Yeah, feel free.
Okay. I will do that then. And before. No, actually, I'll just do a regular check. 15 again.
Well, I'll make my roll again. No. Okay, so you see that kind of sitting behind the box, right in this space, is the guy with a crossbow hiding there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna, holding my weapon close, I'm gonna run up to him and ready my spear.
Cool. Next up in the order is Linus.
Linus looks down at the guy who's just decided to stab his teammate and is very annoyingly not being, stabbed by Calmore because wiggling. He's annoyed, understandably. And decided to manage his own hand. He will. He doesn't have armor gloves. How battered up does this guy look? Roughly.
Bloodied.
Well, now. In that case, he's gonna send a whistling strike out with his rapier, using the flat of the blade, as to not impale him. It's a 14 hit.
Yes, 14 is going to hit.
That is 12 flat of the blade damage. Whack.
Right, with your rage damage, I was wondering about that. 12 damage, you knock him unconscious.
And let them go.
Next up in the order is this guy in the back who's going to run.
You want to move the entire map down so you can make more alley?
Yeah, that's what I was going to do.
If you run it that way, it's not an issue.
Hey, chaotic. You like my Boromir expression?
What are you talking about? That's Linus.
Then why did you say I'm the only one allowed to make a Boromir expression?
Impression. It's because you're getting shot with crossbows.
You're right.
Jeez.
Hmm?
Sorry, the program's a little fucky on my laptop.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Take your time.
it's like that. God, if I frenzied every time I raged, I could kill myself pretty easily. You just stand there fuming until I die.
Yeah, he's going to start running away, leaving your attack range.
Disengage.
Nope.
Oh, he doesn't disengage.
No,
Oh,
he does not.
That I will take that attack of opportunity on him.
Go ahead.
15, and after being shot with a crossbow, I am reaching out to stab him with the spear.
ooh, a proper stab.
Yeah, proper stab.
How daring.
Right, you give him a pretty good stab. Still, he continues to run away as it gets him, and then he is going to make an attack against you.
Against me,
Yeah, he's going to shoot you with the crossbow from where he is.
I dare him.
Was a 13 hit?
13 barely misses.
Right, the bolt whizzes past you. You got that far. Next up is Calamorn.
Alright, I will step forward and I am still in range, I believe. Yeah, longbow. I will snipe him with my longbow.
Do you have it out?
Oh, no, I'll swap to it, yeah. Forgot about that. Is that bone sugar? Yeah.
Just drop your flail on the ground and draw your bow.
Well, swapping your weapon is an action.
Yep, that's right.
So
I'll use action surge to shoot.
Right. Cool. 26 is definitely going to hit. 8 damage. Jeez, this guy is on the brink after he gets hit by that.
Did I not write down my
Next
action
up
surge?
is Emmeline.
And seeing him get pelted with the arrow, she's going to focus her mind and blast him. I need a dex save.
Is this magic I see?
It's lightning. I choose lightning. It is magic, you see.
You just killed somebody with magic?
He
It's
got a
okay.
12, so he takes the damage.
He takes 5 lightning damage.
Great. He collapses as he tries to run away, and twitching, bleeding with an arrow in him.
Linus looks over at Emily and kind of shocked. He says, "You better save him because if he dies, you just killed somebody with magic."
He shot me.
I'm sure he did, but shooting someone is almost as illegal as shooting someone with magic.
Go ahead and make a perception check, all three of you.
Which means you're just as bad as him. At least in
11.
the eyes of the law. I may not agree with that. Oh wait, 8, sorry, I'm going with advantage.
I got the highest, an 11.
No, none of you. Well, what are your guys' passive perceptions?
12.
13.
11.
No. So yeah, nothing appears to happen afterwards.
See,
Um,
you lost the legal high ground the instant you blasted off a magical bolt, so yeah, go save him. Stop protesting. You're gonna die. He's not dead already.
I was on my way to do that, and then
Look on my bucket list.
I'm gonna lean down and grab him, and I will stepping up to him, I'm gonna reach down and I guess channeling energy into him. I will spend 1 side point to give him a d8 of health.
Cool. We'll say that he was making saving throws, sure. And
Okay.
he's back up to being unconscious.
Oh, he'd be conscious. He has health, wouldn't he? Or would he just be unconscious still? It's 1 hit point.
I'm gonna say at 1 hit point he's unconscious.
Okay, that's fair.
But stable.
Alright,
Minus the facepalm, the second use of magic, but kind of nods grudgingly as it did solve the issue.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
If I had woken up from that, you'd have been double trouble, my boy.
Well, there. We fixed it. And she's gonna grab him and start dragging him towards where the others are. Just kind of bringing all the goons together that tried to rob Linus. Do you think we should go get a guard or something?
I think we should leave them tied up here with a note explaining what they've done. And then we should let the innkeeper know.
Alright.
Yeah, that'd probably be smart.
Alright.
Go ahead and make another perception check.
Alright.
Finally!
20. From down the street, you can hear the sound of people in armor rushing towards your location.
Alright, it's time to...
You also, with that roll, notice that the eye is gone.
Okay.
Good
The
sign.
eye's gone.
Oh, that's great. I guess we can take them in after all.
And then Evelyn will strap her spear to her back and kind of start tying up the would-be thieves.
As you begin to tie them up, 2 guards show up at the entrance to the alley and hold up their swords and say to all 3 of you, "Halt! Suspicious activity was reported here."
Sure was. These men were trying to rob us.
Yeah.
Yes, these men were trying to rob us, and I came in to help these 2.
And I am going to pull the bolt that was sticking into my leather armor out.
Guards look at the unconscious guys, especially the bloodied one that you're dragging and tying up, and says, "They were trying to rob you."
Yeah, they tried to rob him, and she'll point to Linus.
Yeah, she stepped in. I'm very grateful. And Linus will sheathe his bloodless rapier.
And we were told that she retaliated with magic.
Oh no, they must have gotten them mixed up. These thieves were using magic against us.
Is that so?
Well, I saw something. I'm sure that was what it was.
Would you tell that to an inquisitor?
Inquisitor. Well, I'm hardly the one being inquisited here, alright, am I?
Go ahead and make a
But yes.
deception check.
Can I help him with this in any way, shape, or form?
Oh, at least it's not a 4.
I'll make my roll. The guards look at each other and look at the 3 of you. They furrow their brows and say, "Submit immediately."
Okay. You just ask politely. I mean, we're the victims here. Linus sheathes his sword and looks over at Calmore.
I have my spear put
Calamorn,
away.
these are 2 guards that you recognize.
Now, gentlemen, we can sell this. I mean, it's clear that this guy was being robbed, and this is all just me handling the situation.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Oh no.
The guards look at you and say, "We heard that you were discharged."
Well, that I wasn't discharged from service. I was just reassigned to a different operation, you know?
With these 2?
I came here with him, and she'll point at Linus and say, "They're friends."
The 2 of them squint.
Doesn't seem
One
to
looks at
like
the other
us.
one and says, "Arrange for an inquisitor to be here. We won't arrest them, we'll keep them." The one on the left nods and rushes away.
Linus doesn't like this turn of events. Now's the time where you wish you had that cantrip that causes people to start dying again after they've been stabilized.
That cantrip is called Spear.
Oh no. Oh, okay, anyway, he kind of looks over at Emmeline and over at the guy who witnessed the magic. Just like frowns. Maybe he has amnesia?
The thief regains consciousness and coughs up some blood, clutching his spear wound, looking around, terrified at the three of you.
The one guard is still there. Hmm?
Yeah, the guard's standing there at the entrance to the alleyway watching you.
Now what?
Okay, Linus will
Don't-
step close to the prisoner and bend down as if inspecting the knots. As he's doing so, he's going to whisper in the prisoner's ear. He's going to say, this is the one that was lightning bolted, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's going to say, alright, these guys are going to take you in. They're nice folk. See, what you're not going to do, or else you're going to suffer a worse fate than any execution you've ever seen. What you're not going to do is mention magic to anybody.
He kind of flicks his eyes up to you, terrified, and nods a few times.
Alright, cool.
The guard looks over and notices this happening. He says, are you awake?
Oh yes, this man's
he's
awake. I was
awake,
just
yeah.
checking his knots to ensure that he wouldn't escape.
He's awake.
Guard kind of looks between the three of you, and he beckons the guy you have tied up, and he says, "What happened here?" The guy, bound and bleeding, looks up at Linus, looks at the guard, shakes his head. The guard kind of looks confused at this and looks at Linus and says, What did you do to him?"
I didn't do anything. He's just decided that it's best to remain silent. Until perhaps there's an Inquisitor here to sort things out. Or
He kind of steps closer to the guy and says, "Speak. What happened?"
a robbery, obviously. You really need to needle
He
the man?
shoves him away. "Shut up! I'm not asking you."
Alright, bud. Well, in that case, I'll be going.
The tied up thief and draws the sword again and points it down at him. At this point, the thief is about to break before the other guard comes down, and what looks like a guy in sort of a blue leather coat is accompanying him, who looks around and says, "Explain this to me again. Why am I here?" The guard says, "Well, but just all we had reported to us was that there was magic, and these three say that they were robbed, and the thief did it." And the other guard kind of looks more suspicious of this as it's being described.
That-
The guy in the blue coat raises his eyebrows.
Evelyn will point at Linus and say, he was getting robbed and I heard it from outside the alley and I came in to help him and so did he, and she'll point at Calamorn. He came with me to help him, pointing at Linus again, and she's still holding the bolt that was pulled out of her back. The guy here shot me with a crossbow.
The guy in the blue coat looks at the bolt and sort of squints and says, "Well, noble to defend a town guard from an evil mage, I suppose. That is what you're saying." He steps up and takes a scroll out of his pouch and begins to read it off.
Thanks. Again,
Is
he schools his impression into impassivity. Impassivity. I don't know if that's a word. Impassiveness, that's the one I was looking for.
like, what is he reading off on the scroll? Is it like,
It's a spell scroll, so he's doing
Okay.
some incantation and beginning to cast a spell.
can I, like,
Arcana check to identify a spell that's being cast.
yeah, can I try and identify what it is?
I don't remember.
I'm proficient in Arcana.
You can make an Arcana check.
Okay.
24. Detect magic.
Detect magic. Okay.
Cool. I'm non-magical, suckers.
He
Wow.
finishes the spell and looks around and furrows his brows and looks at the town guard and says, "There's no evidence of magic here." The guard's mouth hangs open a little bit and says, I'm terribly sorry. I guess we'll have to look into whoever gave us the tip." And the Inquisitor sneers and looks at the three of you and says, "Sorry for the disturbance. We take reports of magic seriously." And
Oh, hey Inquisitor. I do have one question though, if you don't mind, sir. Earlier today, I got a glimpse in a crowd of a floating green eye. I was planning to report it, but it didn't seem like the right time. Until now, of course. Do you any idea what that could be?
he kind of cocks his head a little bit and says, "Well, there are ways that mages will create an eye to spy for them. Up to a very long range if they do it, in a more concentrated manner."
Most perturbatory. Anyway, good day, sirs. We'll leave these folks in your possession.
He heads back out of the alleyway. The guard says, "All right, Calamon, seems what you're saying is more likely since there's no magic at all, apparently. We'll take this one in." And he picks up the thief and locks him away.
Must have been the wind. Alright, well, that worked out better than I thought it would. Might as well nod.
The two of you have no idea why no magic was detected, considering you saw magic.
Well, I mean, it's gone now. It was there and then it wasn't. Right?
I'm still
magic doesn't
confused.
linger.
Yeah, still concerned that the eye was following us, but it's gone now. And are the guards leaving with the three thieves?
The guards take the thief you have bound first, who's conscious, and then they tie up the other two guys and arrest him.
Alright. After they leave, Evelyn is gonna look at, bring the other two closer to her and say, well, that was really kind of concerning if someone was spying on us earlier.
Yes, I have a feeling that could be the two elves, possibly. They seemed
That's the
rather.
case, they know where we're headed.
They seemed rather interested in that letter I got.
Well, if they want to go there first and clear out any, like, goblins or whatever that's taking up the nest, it's fine by me. All you have to do is scout it, right? You don't have to recover anything.
I believe so.
Oh, let's take a nap at the inn, see if we can't head out tomorrow.
Yeah.
You guys head in, not using the whatever back entrance, I assume, since there's no more eye for you to be worried about. Get a full long rest. Wake up at about 8 in the morning the next day.
Gone for about 3 seconds as I turn on my light. I return.
Welcome back.
Heading out on our expedition, or are we saving that until next time?
It's your decision. There was going to be something to happen along the way.
Alright. I was just considering it because if we're going to introduce a fourth player, probably a bit easier to do it in the city. But
That sounds good to me. For that encounter, 100 XP to all of your sheets.
All right.
Sorry about the absence of two of the people.
you're
All
fine.
right.
Always with them.
I guess that you made the decision to stay in town, so I hope that it was all right.
I love the session tonight, even if it was just 3 people. It was very fun.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
Yeah, I like that. How much experience do you have DMing? I tell you practiced. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I was kind of worrying a bit about how I'd get out of that, and then I realized it's not magic, so thank God. The Inquisitor's just going to be annoyed.
Yeah, it's not magic, it's psionics.
Psionics is a form of magic, but it's instantaneous magic. It doesn't linger.
Yes.
Luckily. Just imagining if, like, standard first level wizard shenanigans drop a sleep on them. Inquisitor shows up, detects magic. All 3 of them
Casted sleep on them.
have magic on them. It's like rub his chin.
Rubs chin menacingly.
Definitely maybe don't hang out in town for another day after the thief
Yeah.
absolutely tells everyone that he was hit by a lightning bolt.
Yeah. And gives a perfect description of me because he saw me yesterday. I would like to say that that if he had hit me that second time before I went again, I would have actually taken damage. I felt kind of bad because you're rolling so badly. I don't think. Yeah, none of us took a single point of damage. Well, I technically I did, but 10 hit points.
I mean, I didn't have fucking like character sheets, so I just gave them a +1 on all their rolls, and I don't mind if my side of the encounter doesn't make as many successful rolls, because that's not the point.
I think you can
fair.
drag in some basic character sheets from the compendium. I mean, they don't have a lot, but
Yeah.
I mean, I can fucking just improvise on the spot. You know, what stats
If
does
you're-
someone
yeah.
have to have
I
a
mean,
+1
some
with a dagger? That's all you really need, and 16 hit points each.
yeah, I mean, if you can do that. some people aren't as good as that as others. Like, I would hate to have to pull all the stats of something out of nowhere in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
if that works
I
for you, then power to it.
had none of the rest of the town planned out, so